Alright, I'm Chris West. We're back with That Sci-Fi Show right here at Mayhem Spooky Empire's Ultimate Horror Weekend, and I have Alex Winter, one of the just all-time, if you don't know who he is, if you haven't seen Bill and Ted's excellent, or Bogus Adventure, what the hell is wrong with you? Because they're just two of the greatest movies ever.
Wait, come through.
Yeah, go ahead, come through. Sean
All the
Patrick
Boondock
Flannery's
Saints come through.
Every interview today has been interrupted by a Boondock Saints character, so we'll just let it roll. But Alex, thank you for coming on the show. And I have to say, being excellent to each other, one of the greatest lines I've ever heard.
You guys picked an awesome spot to do these.
Right?
Outside of an exit door. Okay.
Nobody was going through before.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's quiet. It's you. Everybody's coming to see you.
Right, okay.
They're tracking you down. They're wondering why you're not at the table.
Right.
So, tell me, how was it to do that series? Bill and Ted,
Bill and Ted?
how was it to just be so cool?
They're pretty easy characters to do for us. I don't know what that says about me personally. Probably not anything good. But I like doing physical comedy. I like playing multiple characters. And this is not going to work, I don't think. Is it good?
Yeah.
Because that's another Boondock Saint. All the Boondock Saints.
So that's now
their thing.
3.
Okay. Anyway, it's also what I like to do. I like doing physical comedy. I like doing multiple characters. It's kind of a chance to do all of it. So
It was. And you did a great job as well as in the movie Freaked.
thank you.
Where
Which is all multiple characters in the
It is.
Yeah.
It is all multiple characters, and it's just not in just multiple personality. No, they get changed into freaks literally.
Yeah.
Just great underground movie. I remember the first time I saw that on Showtime in the middle of the night, and I'm like, where has this movie been all my life? It's all just every little weird creature that I've ever wanted to see exists. And I think my favorite part is the eyeballs that just pop out of the giant skull and just hunt everybody down as they try to escape.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, people like the Rasta eyeballs.
The Rasta eyeballs,
Yeah.
Jama.
Yeah.
So, you got to do, obviously, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bogus Adventure. You got to do Freaked. You've done Marco, a legendary character for the, Lost Boys movies. What else have you done? People out there that haven't seen you yet, what else can they find you in?
Well, I started directing in full-time in '93.
Okay.
So I do a lot of that. I have my own production company. I shoot a ton of commercials, which people would have seen, but too many to list them off. A lot of music videos. Shot tons of music videos.
Really cool.
Yep. I've done several movies. About to do another movie. I'm doing a remake of The Gate in 3D. Working on that right now.
Oh, wow.
I do a lot of special effects work in commercials, and so I'm doing that. Doing a documentary for VH1, which I'm shooting now, which will come out next year.
All right.
So it's been, been pretty busy, but I've been fundamentally behind the camera for a long time.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Now, how is that for you? Making that transition of being, the guy taking the cues to giving the cues.
Well, it doesn't really work that way. But people always say that, that if you direct, you have all this power, but it doesn't really work that way. You always have a boss, whether you're acting or directing. But I started directing when I was pretty young. So before I was actually acting in any of those movies, I was already directing professionally. So I never really made a hard transition from acting to directing. What I did was I made a decision to stop acting and just direct. And so it wasn't that difficult. I went to film school before I was in Bill and Ted or Lost Boys.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, that seems to be, your thing. You like to be behind the camera more.
I do, yeah.
Now, and like you said, you're not the big boss. When it comes to doing, being the director, you gotta, have a great crew behind it, to make sure that your production company lasts. Do you have a really good crew? How?
Yeah, I love my guys. I work with a lot of different people. I have a company in London, so I work in the UK a lot as well. So I have kind of different people in different parts of where I work. But I do tend to work with a lot of the same people. I love them, and I work with a lot of really great special effects people. And there are people that I worked with on Freak that I'm still working with today. And we had the good fortune on Freak to work with some of the best guys in effects, both on the prosthetic side and on the CG side. So I'm happy to say that I still get to work with a lot of those guys, which is great. Effects has come along so far since those days. So,
yeah. With CGI growing in the last few years as it's grown, and just all the special effects, latex, and you still have the old school prop idea of doing it, which is very cool, very authentic. But it's nice to also know that you can pay a little extra money and do the computer route to do things that that are a little harder to do.
Yeah.
So it makes effects really cool, and just throughout the years, all the changes you've seen in effects and all the stuff you're doing. Has there been a project that has come up that you wanted to do but didn't get a chance to do, or is there that mystery project you really, really want to do, but just haven't got the chance to do it yet?
Well, the only thing is that I wanted to do is I did these 2 Ben 10 movies for Cartoon Network. They were a lot of fun. Very heavy, very heavy CG projects, and I would have liked to have done a much bigger theatrical Ben 10 movie, which I think would have allowed us to do everything that we really need to do when you got a character that can turn into 10 completely different aliens, which is a pretty amazing thing. But Cartoon Network wasn't really set up to make theatrical movies, so that's kind of one that got away. We had a lot of fun on the ones we did, but at the budget range we were working at, they were very challenging.
It did seem to me like you could have gone a lot farther with it, but that can be said about any.
Well, it's a TV movie for little kids, so
exactly.
I mean, it's your obstacles are like that. Your parameters are very narrow. I mean, we had a lot of fun. We got Emmy nominated for those, which is pretty impressive for something that's that low budget for the visual effects. But the reins were on. So I wanted to get the reins off and take that thing where it could go, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
All right. Well, always the future. Maybe keep it up. Legendary actor here, and now that I know, I have to definitely look into more of his directing career. Alex Winter is joining us here on That Sci-Fi Show. Just want to take the time and thank you once again for coming on.
Really
it's a true privilege to meet you. I loved your movies growing up. Bill and Ted has just inspired me. I played bass for a number of years.
Oh, great.
Lots of bands. And it was great growing up with that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll be back with more from Mayhem right here on That Sci-Fi Show.